friends, Nibs again. Out here in the garage, a little bit of goofing around this morning. In the United States, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. For the rest of the world, I know this is an international channel. I have people watching all around the world. Happy Thursday. But I thought I'd do a little bit of a Thanksgiving special. Tell everybody that, you know, I'm thankful for you being on the channel for starters. But I have lots to be thankful for. Relatively good health for a man of my age, and healthy family, healthy church family, healthy church to go to. So sometimes I can get a little bit bumming, and you know, things are not going exactly the way I want them to go. But you know, when you stop and look at things, things are really pretty darn good. A lot of people in the world have a lot more problems than I got. So, but I want to do a little bit of a holiday special for you guys. Nothing too strenuous or extravagant. Paul Harrell does his cooking special every Thanksgiving, and I thought I'd do a special too, kind of a walnut and steel version. I'm not going to be cooking anything. What I'm going to be doing is shooting. I'm out here doing a can cutting, so to speak, like Shane Bruce over at Resto Mod Daisy likes to say, can cutting. But I've got a bunch of nice old vintage and some even antique air rifles, and we're going to shoot each one of them, and I'll tell you a little bit about them, and we'll move right along pretty quick. So, but most of these are, a couple of them aren't quite 50 years old, but most of them are at least 50 years old, and some of them are well over 100 years old. So it'll be a lot of fun. I'm just going to shoot one shot from each one at the can and move on. So let's start out with a pistol. This is probably my oldest pistol in the garage, I believe. This is a Crosman model 106. This is a pretty cool gun. These were made in started in like 49, I believe. It's actually Crosman's first air pistol, from what I've read. This is a 22 version. They did make a 105, which is also the same gun, but in 177. I've been chasing a couple of those. I haven't been able to get my hands on one yet, but let's go ahead and shoot it. This one does shoot a little bit low, so I have to do a little bit of Kentucky windage, but as long as I know that, I can make do. And it hits pretty good when you. So that is the Crosman model 106. Let's do a antique pellet gun now. This is probably one of my favorites as far as the really old stuff. This is an Eisenwerke model 13, referred to as a gem. Some people refer to them as a jewel. And this one actually has a little placard right here that has the date of 1903 on it. But what I've been able to find is this particular model was made from like 1870, 1885 or something like that, up to around 1900. So very old, but still excellent shooting gun. This one's a 177 caliber, and it's gonna be a trick for me to keep everything straight as I'm going through here, because all these guns have different calibers, and some shoot round balls, some shoot 20 caliber pellets, some shoot 22 caliber pellets. Very cool. This thing's got a lot of power for a gun its age. So I'm just going to move down the line so I don't get out of sequence here. But now we have a Daisy number 25 BB gun, and this one was made between 1936 and 1952. Made in Plymouth, Michigan, before Daisy moved to Rogers, Arkansas. But that's pretty fun. It's pretty cool. Let's shoot another pistol here. So I have a Looks like a Walther LP53, but this is a Predom Lucznik, which is a Polish copy of that Walther LP53. This particular one was made in 1976. I'm not sure exactly the date ranges of when they made them, but great shooting little pistol. Alrighty, so I'm going to skip that daisy for now. So we're not doing daisies all in a row. But the next one I have is a Quackenbush. This is a Quackenbush number 1. This is actually the newest Quackenbush that I have in the collection out here. And this one was made, best I can tell, in around 1933. This one is an oddball. It's supposed to shoot 21 caliber pellets, but I don't have any 21 caliber pellets, so I have 20 caliber pellets, and they seem to fit and shoot really well in this. So I'm going to stick with those. If anybody knows where I can get a reasonably priced amount of 21 caliber pellets, they used to use what they call the felted slug, and the those, I found a few of those for sale on like Gunbroker, but they're like many dollars per slug because they're like new old stock, and I'm just too cheap to pay that. So anyway, the next one I have is a really old Daisy BB gun. This is a model number 101, model 36, and this was made only between 1936 and 1942. It's a single shot. You got to drop your BB in the end of the barrel every time and cock it. But recent addition to the channel, and shooting really strong. I believe that's still got its original leather seal in there. Let's move on to a Crosman here. So this is a Crosman, probably made in about 1949, somewhere between like 45 and 49 based on this knob here. But this is a Crosman model 101, and this is a pump action 22 caliber. And this is, other than my Walther LGR, this is probably one of the most accurate guns I have out here in the garage, and quite a good shooting gun. Alrighty, let's see. Let's do another pistol now. What do we got out here still? I've got a break barrel here. This is a pretty cool one. This is it's a Diana Model 6, but basically it's a rebranded, it's a Gecko Model 6, which is a rebranded Diana Model 6. And this has got the opposing pistons. This one was made in 1976, so not quite 50 years old. Alrighty, let's so I see I've done a Quackenbush. Let's do another one of these Crosmans over here. I like these Crosman pump-up guns, and I've got quite a few of them, but these old ones are really pretty cool. This one is a model 147. These were made between 1964 and 1966, so not the oldest. The model 140 started production in 1952 or 54, sorry, and but they didn't come out with the 177 version, which this one is, until 1964. This is the 177 version of this gun is a quite rare piece, and I thought it was pretty cool. I found this one for a really good price on eBay. It did need a reseal, but it's really working good now that I got it resealed, and it's got a lot of power. so far that can is alrighty. I got to keep myself straight here. So let's see what else we got here. We got another Quackenbush. This is a Quackenbush Model 4, and you can tell it's a Model 4 by the little magazine that it has here. They had a Model 2 which looked just like this, except for it only had the little, so when you cock this, you push the barrel in, and now while the barrel's pushed in, you rotate this little lever, and you'll see that magazine index 1, and then you push it forward, and this is a 22 caliber round ball. Now you pull the barrel back forward, and now we're cocked and ready to go. The Model 2, which is very similar to this, doesn't have this magazine. You just open this magazine, drop a pellet in, or a round ball in, and then index it forward. So, but this was made, best I can tell, this was made before 1900, and still shooting really good. It's got a very low serial number, 3-digit serial number. So these were made between like 1885 and into the 1900s, but because it's got a really low serial number, I'm assuming that it's a So the next one is another old Crosman pump-up gun. This is a Model 102, which is a 22 caliber, but this one has a feeder mechanism on here where you can load it up with a bunch of pellets, and then when you open the bolt, so you have to, boy, this one's really stiff to cock. It's hard for me to get a grip on it, but when you open the bolt, the little feeder mechanism opens up, pellet will drop into that, and now when you, I like to verify that it actually fed the pellet in there, because this one's a little bit worn and it can be a little bit finicky there. So but this one's really shooting pretty good. At least we chopped a chunk off the can there. But I got this one recently, and they claimed on eBay that it was not holding air, but I got it here, put a little bit of oil in it, and it was shooting just fine. All right, let's move on to another pistol. This is another one that's not quite 50 years old, but it's still pretty cool and pretty vintage. This is my Daisy Model 62, and this is kind of a unique gun because it's a underlever. So it's the only one that I know of that's a pistol and an underlever, and then you load a pellet. It's a 177 caliber. These were made by Gamo for Daisy back in the early 70s. Lots of power. Very cool. So hope you guys are enjoying this. I really enjoy showing off all these fine old guns. Let's go on to another Crosman pumper-upper. This one's pretty cool. This is one of my first really old Crosmans that I rebuilt. This is a Crosman Model 120, and this one's a 20 caliber, or 22 caliber, sorry. You cock it. This one was in really bad shape when I got it. The stock wasn't too bad, but the metal and everything was in really bad shape, so I refinished it, and I left the receiver and the front sight brass. I just thought it was kind of neat looking. I had to refinish it, so. Cutting these cans is a lot of fun out there, so. Alrighty, we're getting down to the bottom, not the bottom of the barrel, but the bottom of the end of the ones I wanted to shoot for you guys. This one's pretty cool though. This is an old Quackenbush, and this is a Model or number 5, which is pretty intriguing to me. It's a 22 pellet rifle, but it's also capable of shooting 22 short rimfires. And you do that by this little loading, or this little door down here. There's actually a firing pin piece you have to take out and put in place of the leather seal, and that acts as the firing pin. But we're only going to shoot it with pellets out here in the garage today, so. It has a peep sight on here that you can flip down and use the buckhorn sights if you're looking for that kind of sighting, and it shoots pretty good. This one, again, pre-1900, best I can tell. Some of these are really hard to put a date on. What haven't I done yet? I think I have one more, a couple more old Daisy or Crosman pumpers here. This one is a Model 100, which was made around between 1942 and 1949. Again, Crosman didn't think much of the 177 caliber pellet guns early on, and they just tried to stick with the 22 caliber, but eventually they saw the error of their ways and started making 177 caliber pellet guns too. But this one is another one that I just recently picked up and was listed on eBay as not holding air, which was not the case. I ordered rebuild kits from Henry Ford for this one and the 102 that I have over there, and I have some spare rebuild kits now. Alrighty, I think I have, let's see, one more pistol out here to show you. This one's pretty cool. This is it's actually branded as a Montgomery Ward's Hawthorne, but is a Crosman Model 130, and it's a 22 caliber pump-up pellet gun. These were made in the 50s. Again, 22 caliber. Really nice gun, very accurate. Very accurate pellet gun. Quite a bit of power too. So let's see, I think I got two more here. I got two more. All right, so this one maybe just don't belong shooting in the garage, but we're going to anyway. But this one is a really nice gun. It's a Feinwerkbau Model 124, and best I can tell, this was made in the early 70s. I don't know exactly how to date it, but it has a serial number of 27381, so I don't know if it's February of 73. I know that these were made in the early 70s based on some research I did, but this is a 177 caliber break barrel, but this is one of the smoothest shooting break barrels that I've ever experienced, and it has plenty of power, so it's not that it's weak, but it's just so smooth. Ooh. Does have an automatic setting safety though, but no spring buzz at all, no clatter when you cock it, just so smooth, and very little recoil too, which is very surprising. A lot of these springers have quite a bit of harsh recoil, but this one is very smooth. Alrighty. I didn't save this one for last because it's anything particularly special, but it's a really neat pellet gun nonetheless. It is a pretty rare one, and but it is a, look at the wood on this thing. This is a Crosman Model 110. They also call it the Town and Country Junior. They had Town and Country Junior model 109, which is in 177, and the 110, which is in 22 caliber. Both of them are pretty rare. The 109 is very rare. They only made these for 1 year in 1949. I don't know why, but this one, when I got it, was not holding any air and it required a rebuild, but it is shooting pretty darn good right now. There you go. Alrighty, this one ended up being a lot longer than my normal videos, but I hope you stuck around to the end. I really appreciate it. I do have a few others over there that are old like this too, but it'd take an hour to probably shoot them all. But anyway, thankful for everybody being on the channel. Appreciate everybody's comments and interaction with me on the channel. It's a lot of fun. Hope you liked the video. If you did, like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell. You'll be notified when I do post up new videos. Eat a lot of turkey today, all my fellow Americans. The rest of you, have a great Thursday. Till next time, have a great day.